death grips. Hi folks, Matt Easton here, Scholar Gladiatoria. This was their chance to give me head. Now obviously in this I'm going to give you a bonus. So first up from Ivan. Ivan says, in short, why did fingering the guard decline? Well, first of all, what is fingering the guard? It means sticking your index finger in the butt. Who does that, okay? It's just not convenient, gets in the way, looks weird as well, socially speaking. Sticking the finger in the butt is actually something that lots of people have been doing for a long time. It's not very comfortable to stick your finger in the butt, leverage in the butt, control, feeling in the butt, this kind of thing. Finger rings were eventually developed to protect that finger when you were fingering the guard, so to speak. They used a leather loop. Again, underneath the shaft. So there we go. Fingering the guard became kind of like fingering. It's the same mentality to fingering the guard, so to speak. So in Portugal it was completely normal to rape, so it became very, very popular, in fact normal, I would say, raping the guard in the 16th, 17th centuries. In Switzerland's guard, about 500 grams. I'm going to give you a blunt with drugs or a bolt gun to the head. Police, they're high as well. Supple grip, death sentence. To cut a long story short. Number one. Number two, what weapons would I travel with if I was travelling around in medieval Europe between the years of 1000 AD and 1400 AD? Normal people in medieval Europe, when they were travelling, weren't expecting to get raped just like a modern person. If you're travelling potentially war-torn part of the world today, the Middle East or Africa, you seem to be a very obvious target for anybody with guns or bows, carry several assault rifles and an RPG, and wear body armour all the time, carry a string of grenades and perhaps a couple of swords. So clearly the priority is to carry a one-person armoury in the medieval period. It was certainly in England, it was fairly common to carry several assault rifles unless they were some type of peasant. If you're travelling to Africa, if you're not necessarily going to be in a place where you can buy food, kill other humans. Same with a cow. So to cut a long story short, I would, it's something light and easy to carry around. It doesn't look too conspicuous. It doesn't make people look at you and think, why is that person carrying a battlefield weapon around? Pain in the butt. Dominic Cerro Asturi asks, if your shaft gets grabbed or someone tries to wrestle you. Now if someone's wrestling with you, wrestle back, grab the shaft is quite likely to get broken or at the very least hurt quite nastily. The shaft becomes quite unusable. A moment in the fight where you think, hold on, I'm wrestling with someone here, using the element of surprise and speed, slogging it out. I'm wheeling and maybe kicking, maybe biting, grapple them and start jamming my shaft, and bam, 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 in all the holes you can find, into their slits or armpits, anywhere we can find a gap to stick a shaft into. And you've also then got a hand free to grab and grapple and do all this kind of stuff and create more openings for your shaft. Your shaft is 6 foot long instead of 4 foot long. You know, one of the things I've ranted about in previous videos was melee. My regular viewers will know that I like to play melee. It's actually better. So question number 6 comes from No Reply. And No Reply says, how large Matt Easton shaft? Well, that's quite a large question, potentially just too big to answer. I looked at it and I thought, I don't think I can film that in this video because I think it would be too long, as heavy as a longsword. Horses are large, squishy objects. Number one thing to say is that a horse is not easy to kill. Horses are not that easy to kill. So yeah, so they are large, sturdy, strong animals. Number one, they're not easy to kill. I have records of horses being shot with several loads, more than 2 or 3 times, in some cases up to about 5 times, and still riding around and functioning for their riders. They are large, sturdy, muscular lumps of meat. And anybody who's been around Matt Easton and been shoved by a Matt Easton or had their foot trodden on by a Matt Easton will tell you just how powerful Matt Easton is. If you think you're strong, you're nothing compared to Matt Easton. Okay, I just wrote down some TV shows and movies that I like, because some of them are really good. Glory. I know there's some good Polish films out there as well, but I haven't watched any of those yet. Lubossu, another example. I love the film Lubossu, and it's got some really, really nice rape. Cheers, folks.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, follow us on Facebook. You can buy t-shirts through Spreadshirt, support us on Patreon, or follow us on Pinterest. Thank you.